Adults, what's something no one or nothing prepared you for that happens in adulthood? 1. Unexpected expenses. 2. People coming and going in our lives. 3. Monotony and routine of life. Well, not to sound morbid, but eventually you will lose your parents. That hits pretty hard and most people aren't prepared for it. How much I do enjoy vacuuming. The fact that a lot of adults are not nearly as mature as you would expect them to be emotionally, and that sometimes the best way to deal with a tantruming adult is to basically treat them like a tantruming child. How much flexibility there is. You don't instantly lose your job if you're 15 minutes late to work. You aren't sent immediately to jail if make a mistake on your taxes or get pulled over by a cop. You can get a C and still graduate college and find a job afterwards. There are a lot of scare tactics used on kids and teens, telling them that if you make a single mistake or do anything wrong, your life is ruined. But it's really not. It's good to be careful and cautious, but it's a relief to know there actually is some wiggle room and you don't have to be 100% perfect all the time as an adult. The quantity of stupid people and how good they are at hiding it. Realizing that the dream job is actually a myth for most people. We're conditioned to believe we'll find that perfect gig that ignites passion and pays the bills. In reality, many of us end up in jobs that are just good enough to not quit while constantly on the lookout for something better that seldom comes. In my late 40s, I got a wake-up call on how fragile your health can become and how fast your body can start breaking down. When you were younger, you see old people walking hunched over with limps and getting fat. It can become you faster than you can know. How rapidly time speeds up, particularly after 30. The years just fly by, and you start realizing things that didn't seem that long ago are actually 20 years ago or more. You have small sad things as you age, like sea of the TV presenters etc. that you grew up watching die off, and each one is like a little bit of your childhood dying too. Nobody takes the time to clearly explain how anything works, like what taxes all mean, or how to properly grocery shop. They just expect you to know how to plan healthy balanced meals every grocery trip, and if you file a form incorrectly, you are always at fault despite it being basically in legalese intended for professionals to complete. Death. Adulthood hits hard when you realize the constant juggling act of responsibilities and priorities. Even if you take care of yourself, shit starts to break and basic maintenance becomes more important. I picked up a stress fracture doing the kind of running that I could have handled easily in my 20s, and I've been a long-distance runner my whole life. Things like sleep, diet, stretching, recovery, etc. become critical. When I was 25, I could run a half marathon hungover and crush it. Now, I need everything to line up perfectly for several days to get myself in the right place on race day. That I have to cook for the rest of my life. Prepping for food, cooking for food, shopping for food, cleaning up after eating food. Ask if you have kids. How rare actual adults are and how that permeates every aspect of daily life. People's self-interests and priorities become much more evident the older you get. Conflicts with others, loss of loved ones. In childhood, it seems that life is subordinate to you and you can make mountains. But when you grow up, you realize that everything is the opposite, and somewhere you were just not able to resist. You were faced with a lack of understanding of where to go and what to devote your life to. Making friends and maintaining romantic relationships takes effort. Like you have to go out of your way to think about it to make it work. Shitty people can get a lot worse after childhood.